Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson, one of the most skilled boxers. Sugar Ray Leonard, an undisputed welterweight champion, and he won world titles in 5 weight classes.
They have waited for this fight for so long, Todd. This is ridiculous.
And with that, we turn it over to the world-renowned ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from New York, here is one of boxing's all-time greats with 174 wins in his 201 fights. A welterweight champion of the world, a 5-time middleweight champion of the world, Sugar Ray Robinson. Fighting out of the blue corner, presenting one of the all-time greats, the Hall of Fame legend of boxing, a 5-division champion of the world, Sugar Ray Leonard.
A lot of trash talk between these two fighters. Now it's time to put up or shut up.
This is one of those arenas where you have to fight or you're going to be found wanting.
So a capacity crowd here for this one. We've been waiting a long time for this matchup. And here we go. Here we go for round 1. By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. Nice right hook. No defense for that hook. After so much pre-hype fight and social media drama, I can't believe we're actually in the midst of them fighting.
You have certain fighters that are born for this, that are made for the big crowd. And looking at corner right there, that is that fighter right there. They have elevated, lifted, it's like they're not touching the ground. This is what they were born for.
He caught him with a left hook. Which one of these athletes is going to say, I can't take it anymore? They're both going for the KO. It's so obvious. Back and forth they go in this round. The momentum continues to shift.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Counter fighter believes in the anything you can do, I can do better. They'll let you throw a punch first, and they'll answer you and usually hit you harder.
You're fighting a counter puncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter punchers, they're watching you every move, that every twitch.
Just when you thought we'd see a lull in the action, here we go again. Got him with a left jab. You can tell who's stronger and who's faster. Both men step back for just a moment. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Robinson in that last round. That was almost a 10-8 round, complete dominance.
You can't leave it up to the judges. It's up to you as the fighter, and the cornerman's got to...
I'm happy I like that round. Good work.
Here we go, it's round 2. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, If it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Johnny, a lot of fighters focus on their defense with their hands up. This fighter focuses on their defense with their footwork, moving on those angles, staying out of danger.
If you're an outside fighter, you've got to use that straight jab, the straight right hands, the straight left hands. Doing it that way, it makes it so awkward for anybody to try and pin you down or even predict which way you're moving.
Someone's will cave, but which fighter will it be? Do you believe this? No rest for the weary. Right when you think the pace will slow down, it picks up. Halfway through the round, and man, these two are going at it.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to respect both of them more than happy.
Which fighter will say no mas? I think it's safe to say one of these fighters certainly has a significant speed advantage. You can tell who it is.
Let me explain to you about a fast fighter that's got hand speed and footwork. They're relaxed, they're confident, they know they just have to quick burst, boom! In a split second, they've let 4 shots go. Their footwork has got them out of the way. And these guys are so relaxed, and that's why they can maintain this all the way through a fight.
Missing with that jab. The straight right just misses. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Robinson in that last round. Well, this is the time that the trainer needs to come in and say something special. On to the third. Well, they got battered last round. How do they turn their fortunes around?
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
He scores with the counter. Defense is not an option for these two. There's no doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. You can't afford to make one single minor mistake.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Punch output. Thought there might be more action here. That jab gets blocked. How much confidence do you build when your opponents hit you with their best shot and you walk right through it?
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
Can they figure out the combination to this sink?
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
His jab just got blocked. time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Nice defense on that hook. Straight right just misses. Well done with that counter shot. That hook's blocked. Straight right just misses. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Robinson in that last round. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight, because if they haven't, there's going to be absolute uproar.
I love that. I love that. The jab's slick. Just keep him on.
Win the round, right? There's only one round that you've lost. Don't worry about it.
Here we go to the fourth round. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
Oh, with welterweights, they sometimes bring you the best of both worlds. Fast hands and power.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those pointed areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim and go for speed.
Straight right just misses. They've got to use their jab better in this fight. The perfect counter lands. A perfect counter shot. Those counter punches have to hurt. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. You've heard the phrase, finding a second wind. I don't think I need to tell you which one of these fighters needs to find it.
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now they're going to find out.
I can't believe we're only halfway through the round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
One punch could change everything in this battle. You'd like to see more jabs. When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how... Whoa, wait a minute! Sugar Ray Robinson just got rocked. I thought we were going to see the finish there.
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round. But look at that. Look at the movement. Look at the speed. Back on it. Like it never happened.
Swinging big and missing big with that hook. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Robinson in that last round. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here.
Dominance, without a doubt, made it look so easy.
Back. Good work. That's it. Now breathe, breathe. Just get your breath back.
What are you doing? You don't want to lose this fight, do you? Come on.
Here we go in round 5. Who's going to land the first big shot? That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
much for boxing. This is a fist fight. There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
I've seen some aggressive fighters like this, and they are a nightmare. If you are not fit, that is the worst place to be, having second thoughts in the ring.
Good defense with that left jab. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Good defense to block the hook. Good fight so far. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
The work rate is down. The head isn't moving as well, Johnny. Fatigue is starting to set in.
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym, you can do it in the fight. They've got to relax.
I want to see that again, but from a different angle.
Even I've got to see that again. Where did that come from?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you continue?
At some point, the corner may have to intervene here because this fighter won't stay down.
That is a show of character. When you're put down, your ego's hurt, your chin's hurt, your body's hurting, and you've got to get up, suck it up, and think, right, I'm back in the game again. It's so hard for a fighter.
Final 10 seconds here, unless something major happens. I think we all know who won that one. Let's talk about Robinson in that last round. They say no one knows a fighter better than their trainer, and this trainer is certain.
Get back into it. Now,
Let's start the 6. Let's see if they can shake off the cobwebs after a disastrous last round.
2 knockdowns, and you're coming back from that. That's near on impossible because your head must be all over the place. Your legs would feel like jelly. What can they tell you in the corner? All they can do is wake you up. They can't even go into game plan.
Trying to land that jab. The straight right just misses. You don't see a lot of welterweights that can bring you one-punch KO power, but these two can.
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain there.
Off the charts action from both of these fighters. Timing beats speed, speed beats power. Oh, and he caught him clean. Is this the beginning of the end? These two are the perfect dance partners.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
The old adage is, no matter how much speed you've got, timing beats speed.
Having so much speed, what happens to your opponent is you get cut to ribbons, and that's where the referee has to jump in and stop the fight. And you know this is going to happen, so you rush your work. You think, I've got to get him inside close round.
They're giving us a high-tempo show. to see a jab from these two. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. And that hook misses. Nice exchange here from both men. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Robinson in that last round. They've got the momentum, they've got the advantage. How do they carry that into the next round?
You let him back into the fight.
Here comes round 7. Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Well, Johnny, has anything surprised you here as we enter the final frames of this bout?
When you have a fight that's got that great footwork and that great hand speed, it's so hard. It's an uphill battle.
A straight right just misses. One punch could change the entire complexion of this fight. Beautiful counter shot. As we enter the final frames of this bout, Johnny, what have we seen so far?
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
The straight right just misses. Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Nice idea with the jab, but does not land. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. This fighter's certainly not going to outthrow their opponent by any means, but they will, when they hit, be a lot harder.
This could be really intimidating, Todd. If you know somebody's got the punch power, someone's got the speed, it can be intimidating. Just depends on how confident you are as a fighter.
Nope, that jab not going to score. Quick punch scores. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Robinson in that last round. The game plan does not seem to be working here. What's he have to do differently?
Wow, it's like two different leagues.
You go out there. Just take.
Nice round. Good round.
And there's the bell for round 8. After that last round, something has got to change.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
Sometimes when you get nervous, someone that's so powerful, you've got to think him. You've just got to be smarter than him. You've got to be like a little favourite and pickpocket him.
believe what we're seeing. That left-handed jab doesn't quite score. The bravery being shown here is just incredible. There's no way this fighter can go punch for punch. Their resistance to these blows just isn't the same.
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've gone in the ring with fights like that and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
This has been a very competitive round between these two.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? Robinson got buzzed there. He's in trouble. Didn't wait long to get back and get engaged.
Green Days now needs to steady the pace, get the pace back to normal.
That jab doesn't score. Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. Punch has been his best weapon all fight long. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Go back to the drawing board time, a unanimous decision victory.
This is the last thing we expected. What a fight, what a style, what a pace to get a unanimous decision. That is mad. I didn't see that coming. I thought this would be tight. This is nowhere near tight.